Come here. Come here. Stay ass over there. Oh, see. Oh, Cody Rhodes up on the.
I see him.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I guess we are live.
Nice to have a TV in here though for once.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Say what's up, Sonny.
Right.
All right.
Well,
Sit your ass down somewhere.
this light was better. Welcome in, everybody, to the third Generation Wrestling podcast. 3G Dub, get back here again. Live post show, rapper, like we normally supposed to be doing. Money in the Bank 2025 is in the books. So we're here to talk about it. We got 5 matches, so this shouldn't take too long. But without further ado, I am the real biggie. He is Rob the Ambassador. How's it going, man? How did you enjoy the show overall?
Man, it's going good. I enjoyed the show. I think a little bit more than I thought I would. I don't know what it is, man. The build up to this one just wasn't as exciting for whatever reason. I don't know why.
Felt
But
rushed.
yeah, it did. I mean, I think because a lot of these shows are so close together. We got Saturday night's main events in there, and yeah, a lot of them are just happening so fast. It seems like the buildups aren't good. But I thought the show was solid.
Yeah, and I want to put this out there now because your brother Blake pointed this out. It was like, how did we have fix my mic first of all. How did we have in 2025 a heel John Cena and a babyface CM Punk and the Money in the Bank, and we don't do that match again?
I think there's still time for that down the road.
Agreed, but
Yeah, I just think you
it's
could.
just a neat little bow.
I mean, I see that. I just think the build up, it just wouldn't have made sense. It would have felt rushed to me if they would have done that because it just hasn't happened.
Well, I'm just saying they could have planned it after Mania is all what I'm saying. Even though Punk didn't win the match, so I guess that kind of why it didn't make sense. But you still had Seth Rollins building his stable, so
Yeah,
I
that
don't know.
match is going to happen though, so I'm good with letting it build organically rather than trying to rush it or
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, okay. Well, like I said, we had the 5 matches. We come from Los Angeles and the Intuit Dome, same place where they had Netflix Raw premiere. Man, I mean that building just like is head and shoulders above any other arena they go to with the lights and everything. It just looks like it's just built for. I mean, they have the wall that's for made for free throw shooting,
Mhm.
and they use it as seating for like WWE events. They put it behind the Titantron, but they've been doing that lately anyway. The last couple of years, they made
Mhm.
the Titantron smaller so that they can have seating behind it and
The tickets, yeah,
increase their numbers, of course.
yeah.
So, but anyway, we of course kicked off with the ladies. Ladies first, women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Now, this is a very unique field here with Julia, Rhea, Naomi, Alexa, I'm blanking,
Ranks Roxanne.
Roxanne, and of course Stephanie Fakir, who just got called up as well. It was just odd because you got 2 veterans in there, and well, 3. I'm sorry, 3 veterans in there, and 3 newbies. So it was a little bit of an odd mix. But initially, I just I'm not gonna lie to you. I came to the match thinking, hands down, it's either gonna be Roxanne or Alexa. That those are my would have been my 2 picks if we did a prediction show. Um, the match itself, I thought not the typical Money in the Bank match, even for the ladies. There weren't a lot of spots, so to speak. There were some. It wasn't like a spot heavy, spot fest. I guess this is how you
Mhm.
say it. And but there were some good highlights in there. And everybody's gonna be talking about the one, Stephanie Fakir with Rhea Ripley on the ladder.
Yeah, the Devil's Kiss. Yeah, that was nice.
So yeah, that was cool. I don't know. I mean, and oh my Lord, have mercy, Alexa Bliss. That was a nasty bump she took when they lifted her up and she just came down and her
On her
midsection
stomach
landed on the
across the
ladder.
ladder. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, it was some hard hitting in there. And then the suplex that on the ladders. Yeah, it was still action packed. Um, again, I just had in my mind that Roxanne was just gonna weasel her way because she's part of the Judgment Day and she's trying to prove herself and all that stuff. And they seem to be high on her. But I'm thinking Alexa too, because she just came back. It'd be a good storytelling with her and Tiffany. I think her and Tiffany could have a banger. But it was not to be. And I'm not even mad about it. And the crowd wasn't either. Naomi clearing house at the end and going to begin the briefcase and well deserved, well earned, and I'm glad they're going with her on this heel run. And we got a sister to win the Money in the Bank. So there we go. Pay-per-view worthy match for me. I enjoyed it. Would like a little more, especially with the newbies. There was some miscues in there as well, but it's okay. I still say pay-per-view worthy.
Yeah, I go pay-per-view worthy, and I'd go a little higher if we had something above pay-per-view worthy that was not superb. But there was another spot, a couple of things I took note of. Roxanne Perez did a Hurricane Rana to Rhea Ripley, and then also did that into a moonsault on the ladder to Rhea. And then we talked about Julie and Roxanne lifting up Alexa and just dropping her flat on her stomach against
Yeah,
a.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean that looked like it really hurt, man.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's no way to
Yeah.
block that.
And then we talked about the Devil's Kiss by Stephanie to Rhea. Rhea took a couple of couple of big moves from these younger players. And if we'd have done a prediction show, my predictions would have been either Rhea or Naomi because they are the veterans. I feel like it would have been too soon to put it on either Roxanne or Stephanie. I don't think
They
Rhea
did it with
needs.
Tiffany. They did it with
They
Tiffany.
did, but Tiffany was. I think she was more over at that time. She wasn't as new as they are. I mean, Stephanie Vaquer just came to the main roster last week?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Roxanne's kind of been hanging around, but
Hmm.
I felt like Tiffy was more over than they are at this point. Now even though she was a heel at the time, yeah. So I thought it was too new for Julia. I don't think Rhea really needs it. Um,
Ah.
yeah, but I'm so glad that they went with Naomi because I'm really enjoying this heel turn of hers. And she has been in this business for a while and she's had a great run, but it's really good to see her after this long still being relevant the way she is, still creating this. We haven't really seen her as a heel before that I recall. I'm sure it's probably happened. She's been on this roster for over 15 years
Mm.
now.
Oh, when she was tagging with Cameron.
Yes, when they're part of the Funkadactyls or
Yeah.
shortly after that. Yeah, but I'm loving this character and I'm glad she got the win. And like you, I go pay-per-view worthy on the match. I think I liked it a little bit more than you did, though, because
Yeah, I
I
guess my
actually,
expectation was a little higher. Usually women bring it, and they usually
you
bring
know,
it more than the guys do.
it's funny. I heard them talking before the match. I think Alexa and Naomi are the only two who have ever been in a Money in the Bank ladder match before. Not even Rhea had ever been in one before.
No, because she usually always a champ
Right.
or
So
contending for the championship.
yeah. So you could see maybe just a little bit of I don't want to say jitters, but maybe inexperienced having 4 of the 6 never having done a match like this before.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so I don't have a cover art for this because this was kind of a last minute thing. With Dominic going up against Octagon for the Intercontinental
Octagon
Championship.
Jr. So they have some
Octagon
interesting
Jr.
names in AAA.
Yeah, Pentagon, Octagon. Is there a
Yeah,
hexagon?
Psycho Clown.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, yeah, but hey,
um, I was a little busy during this match. I'm not even gonna lie, so I didn't see the ending. Probably from the middle to the end, I missed, so I'm not gonna grade it. But I do like the idea and the of mixing up and continuing the idea of Worlds Collide with the acquisition and everything. However, I think if you're gonna do a Worlds Collide, like you already have a deal with TNA, why didn't you incorporate TNA with that as well? But that's just me.
TNA had a show last night. I mean, I guess you could have still done something, but yeah, it
You
was
could
a
have borrowed some people. I mean, worlds collide. I mean, it doesn't have to be just two worlds. You could have all three. I mean, you have a partnership.
well, I'm
You know,
hoping we'll see that sometime.
yeah. So, like I said, I'm not gonna grade it. But we did see the highlight that Liv somewhat got involved and tripped up Octagon, and that led to the splash, and then Dominic got the win. But it wasn't a very long match either, so I don't know why they even bothered. But hey, it is what it is. But I'll throw to you.
I'm going to have to go TV quality because, like you said, I thought the work was good. I had never heard of Octagon Junior, but I liked what I saw. And the interference from Liv to me didn't really determine the outcome of the match. It was a clean win by Dom. He was just the better guy tonight. But I'm looking forward to seeing more from Octagon Junior. But the match was just too short. And it's hard to get invested when you're not really familiar with, I wasn't familiar with Octagon Junior, so hard for me to get invested. But it was entertaining, but it was quick, so it just didn't blow me away. So I have to go TV quality. I think if they'd have given it more time, it could have been a much better match.
Yeah, just now that was rushed.
Definitely.
All righty, getting into it here. We got the Women's Intercontinental Championship match now. Becky Lynch taking on Lyra Valkyria. If Becky loses, she can no longer challenge Lyra for that title ever again. And if Lyra loses, she has to raise Becky's hand in victory. I love Becky's ring attire, by the way. I thought that was pretty cool. Uh, and then I like that the LA crowd is more and more crowds are kind of getting behind Lyra and the chant and the woo. So that's pretty cool to see too. Even though I'm still not 100% on board, and I'm going to explain why here in a second. Mm.
I'm with you. I like Lyra, but well, I'll let you go and then.
First things first, change your ring attire, okay? Because this is now the second or third time that you get in a match and your shit has malfunctioned. Just change it, okay? Whatever snap or buckle is behind here, baby girl. If that comes down, we're having a Janet Jackson situation live on TV, okay? So let's figure that out.
She
Like,
must have something on under there, though. We wouldn't get to see the
I,
goods.
I would hope so, and I would
Yeah,
think so,
there'd be something under there.
but still, like it takes away when you throw somebody outside the ring, and then you go to do this, and Jessica Carr has to come over and help you. It's like,
Yeah,
okay, and this happened at the Royal Rumble, and I think it happened one more time. Other than that, so I was like, okay, can we get the ring attire fixed?
yeah.
Anyway, however, I did think this was even better than the last match. Um, I just don't like these finishes. I don't. I think they're both capable of having like I don't know what this is. Is this a protection thing or what the deal is? Why they can't tap out, get pinned like after a move or whatever the case may be, or hell, cheat. If you're the heel, Becky, hey, do a John Cena. Use the belt, knock her out. I don't care. But this roll up shit, I'm sorry, it's just weak. And then if you're gonna do a tight pull like the dirtiest player in the game used to do, pull them tights, girl.
Right, right,
You're just barely pulling them things. Ric Flair used to give people wedgies, man.
right, right. I mean, so there was some heel shit in it, but you know,
A little bit, a little bit. But in the end of the day, Becky won with the roll up, and but there was some good action. The manhandle slam off the top rope. And I think Lyra is getting better every time she goes out there. But yeah. Then and I was like, okay, don't mess her up by having her just raise her hand. Like, and then I like that they did this. They had Becky do it again and again and again. She's like, okay,
mhm.
now put the belt on me. I'm like, well, that wasn't part of the deal.
Right, right,
The deal was raise your hand, and and then so I'm glad that she got the not just the clothesline. I thought she was gonna clothesline her. That was it. No, she did a suplex and hit her with the her finisher. I was like, okay, good, good. Don't let her walk out that damn weak. So, again. I will still go pay-per-view worthy on this one. I thought it's been a step above what they've done in the past. I think the last match I gave TV quality, so I think this was better. And I liked it a post match too.
Me too. I enjoyed this one. Probably enjoyed it more than any other match we've seen between these two. I like Lyra. I liked her when she was in NXT, but I did think that making her the inaugural first women's intercontinental champion was a little rushed. I felt like that was forced, and I didn't think the crowd was behind her at first because, well, they didn't really know who she was. But I think that she eventually won them over. But I do think that Becky is the right person to hold this championship now, to give it some legitimacy, to give it some meaning. But it was a good run for Lyra, and I still think there's a future for her. Obviously, there's a future for her. She's going to be on the roster for a while. She's great in the ring. She's got the crowd behind her. She has some charisma. I think there's a good future for her. But I just didn't think, like I said, I for your first women's intercontinental champion, I expected them to put the belt on someone we were more familiar with. But she made it work. So I'm not mad about it. I do like it that, like you said, look, a loss to Becky Lynch, one of the greatest women to ever do it, that's not a bad thing. And she raised, like you said, she raised her arm, and Becky said, well, no, all the way around, facing all four ways.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but they didn't make Lyra leave the ring just looking like, I'll say punk
Weak.
because I don't
Yeah,
want to. Yeah, I don't want to use the other word, the B word.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. They made her still look strong, and I don't know if we're going to see a fourth match between these two. Maybe, uh, and I'd be okay with maybe one more match. But if Becky gets over, then I think Lyra has to move on. But I'm like you. I'll go pay per view worthy. I enjoyed this one better than any other previous matches.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. All right. And yeah, I'm with you. One more match, I'd be okay because it's kind of like the not it wouldn't be the rubber match, but it would be like, okay, now you beat me. Let me try to get mine back, you know.
Right, right.
All right. Now we got the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Ah, El Grande Americano. Seth Rollins, Seth freaking Rollins. Solo. Andrade. Penta. And L.A. Knight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. To say these guys tore it up is an understatement. I mean, yes, there was more I guess storytelling in this one, but sometimes that's what you need. We've kind of seen something you like to say. We've kind of seen a lot of what you can do with Hell in Cells, ladders. We've kind of seen that there's very few things left you can do we haven't seen yet. But there was still some cool stuff done in this match. I think Penta was really good here. Andrade was amazing in this match. Uh, I don't know how I don't you and Blake may feel about Solo. I'm loving Solo Sikoa. His personality's coming out, and it's natural. You can tell that's actually who he is, and it's just funny to see. Like even last night when he was on ringside and he got the jacket and he just breaks out in a little dance.
Mhm.
It's like I don't know where this came from, but. Dude is killing it. I mean, I saw a comment on one of the posts saying this dude went from saying nothing to being one of the most hilarious people on the roster. To me, he is.
Yeah,
And it works
yeah, I
because
agree.
it's tough to balance being the tough guy, and also being funny. And I think he does it well. Um, and there was that point, of course, where Rollins is getting beat down. He calls out the dogs, of course, especially the big, not the big dog, but. You know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
Ron Breaker comes out and he's spearing everybody, and of course, I will say I'm turning around on Bronson. I'm turning
Okay,
around.
okay. Took long enough, but okay.
We getting there. We
All
getting
right,
there.
all right.
Uh,
Baby steps. That's all right.
and then the music hits, and here comes Jacob Fatu, and what do they call him? JC Mateo.
Yeah, JC Mateo.
Yeah, they come out, and everybody thinks, okay, well, obviously, yeah, he's here to help Solo, and he's helping Solo back in the ring, setting up ladders and everything. And I'm like, okay, all right. I guess they figured it out. But nope. Jacob Fatu did a Batista on Triple H. Mm-mm. Thumbs down, brother. You are done. Pulled him off that ladder and then did the moonsaults and everything. And Solo was out of there. Um, Loved that. At this point, I almost really thought like LA Knight was gonna win, but then it just was like I think this is really just set up for Seth to win because of the new faction and everything. They kind of have to win, otherwise they look weak in what the purpose is. And that's what happened. Seth comes, he gets us back to the top and he wins, and two-time Money in the Bank winner. It's not that unfathomable to be a two-time Money in the Bank winner. CM Punk's done it. Other people have done it. It's not that big a deal. But great match. I gave it superb. I was thoroughly entertained. And I was like, man, this is gonna be hard to follow in the main event. So yeah, superb for me.
Yeah, man. First of all, on Solo, man, I'm with you. I was worried after the whole storyline with the um gosh, what was their names? The when Roman had them, the bloodline. I was worried when that storyline kind of came to an end that Solo might, kind of fade away a little bit. But man, he's really kind of found a new character, and like you, I'm really enjoying it. So as far as the match, we didn't do a prediction show, but shortly before the match, I said that because you were saying you'd like to see Andrade win, and I'm like, I'd like to see him win too, but I just didn't think that was going to happen.
Hmm.
I really felt like it was going to be Seth or LA Knight since they were in LA, and LA Knight is still over. But my front runner was always Seth because I just feel like right now, like you, with the faction they have going on, he is just the best guy to have it. He's the biggest heel in the company right now, and what better way to make him an even bigger heel than to have him walking around with the briefcase and be able to cash it in at any time, knowing that he's done it before on the biggest stage in the
Hmm.
business, WrestleMania. So I actually love it. And look, hey, he's my
You
Iowa
Seth
homeboy.
Rollins guy. That's your guy.
I'm a bit, yeah. So I was all about it. Now the match itself, man, crazy. I mean, we saw Penta do Mexican Destroyer on Andrade on a ladder. Like you
That
said, we
ladder
saw,
bent too.
yeah, they got to get a name for Seth's faction though. They
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even mention that Jacob did the spinning solo through a ladder.
right. And yeah, you talk about remember the I love you solo, and then
Oh yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
guess
yeah.
he busted him out last night talking bad about him behind his back. And to Solo tonight, he said, I hate you. And yeah, so finally that break is done. But
Hmm.
man, yeah, I'm with you. Superb. I really enjoyed it. Penta, I thought all six of these guys had their moments. I thought this was a great field, but I just thought, man, as much as I like Andrade, he just can't seem to connect with the crowd the way I think he should be able to. Penta is already over. I just felt like he doesn't really need it, man. He is so over and on his way to the top. He doesn't
Yeah.
need the briefcase.
No.
LA Knight's over. I
Yeah.
still think it would have been nice for him to have it,
Yeah.
be a threat to the
He
world
could have cut
championship.
some he could have cut some good promos with it.
Yeah, man, he really could have. I didn't think Solo would win. I really didn't think he or
No.
Andrade had a shot.
No.
The other four I thought had legitimate shots, but it was Seth who I really thought would and should win it. He did, and I think that's great for the business. And the match was superb.
Andrade needs a mouthpiece again. It was nothing like when he had Zelina Vega. And once he lost her, it was just that was a match made in heaven, like professionally. Like it just worked. And you just kind of need that, like that guys have needed Paul Heyman. Same kind of deal. It's professional wrestling. It's pro wrestling. People have managers. Harlem Heat had, um,
It was a Sherry,
yeah,
sensational. She wasn't sensational Sherry at that time, I guess,
but
but
yeah, same person. But
yeah,
yeah,
you all know
they had
Sherry.
manager. People have had managers over here. It elevates you. So I think that's just what he would need to get over because yeah, that's really all he's missing. All the talent in the world, the
Yeah,
look.
and
You
his
know,
English has improved, but like you said, some wrestlers just need that mouthpiece to really get him over, and I think that would work for him.
Yeah. Okay, dokie. Main event. It's a tag team match of the World Heavyweight Champion tagging with the former uh, uh, undisputed champ Cody Rhodes going up against Logan Paul and the current undisputed champion heel John Cena. Um, I said, that Money in the Bank match was going to be hard to follow. I meant it, and wow, I mean, this is a great follow up. I mean, if you're gonna do it, because normally the match before the main event is kind of like a buffer match that kind of bring the crowd down. Not so much here. Um, this was a fun match. I mean, this was great. I mean, and if you had a way to cover up the aging John Cena, this is how you do it because you got three other guys that are young enough to do all the stunts. And I mean, we say this all the time. And not every match Logan Paul has been in has he knocked it out of the park. But when he does, I give the man his credit because in this match, I mean, outside of the slip, he did slip the one time. It happens, all right.
Oh
It
man,
just
and that happens all the time in the
yeah,
business to the best
and
of them.
and I actually like to me it makes it less of a bad thing when the commentators acknowledge it, like oh he slipped. That's that's just say he slipped. Don't act like, oh, the perspiration in the arena causes the like, oh, shut up, okay?
Yeah, really.
The man slipped.
Inspiration. Yeah. It happens. Just say it happens.
Right,
It's
it
no big
happens
deal. We all know.
sometimes.
Look, if you've been watching wrestling for a while, these things happen. You don't need to justify it.
Yeah, that used to kill me, man. But that was Vince. So he made up for it though, because yeah, they were fighting on the outside. Jay hits a spear on Cena, and then Jay's laid out, and then Logan Paul hits the Acai moonsault, as Michael Cole put it, and they go through that table. They destroy that table. Um, I get why they changed the announce tables and all, but they are that much harder to break. Seems like.
I don't really get it. If you're going to do those spots and the intention is to break the tables, you've got to do something. Those tables don't break more often than they do break, and I don't think that's supposed to be. And when the table breaks, that's better for the wrestler because they're not landing on a solid surface. When it breaks, it kind of slows your momentum. You hit the floor, but when the table doesn't break, you're just landing on a solid table. That to me, that seems like it would be a little more painful.
Yeah. And the wrestlers have said like when it doesn't break, it hurts way more than if it just gives.
Yeah.
And I can see that. I mean, that makes sense. Um, and let's just get to it, man, because it's been the topic of the week. And I don't know about you, as soon as I saw him, I was like, "That's him. It's him."
You know what? It's and I hate to go this way. I wasn't sure, but there was a slip up where his skin showed, and I could say, okay, that's a brother. So now I know who it is. If he
Yeah.
wore a white T-shirt or something, I still would have been like, I'm not sure. Maybe could it be CM Punk or somebody? I don't know, but yeah, once his skin showed, I'm like, oh yeah, that's truth.
For a split second, I was like, "It could be Punk. It could be Roman. It could be Jay. I mean, not Jay. Jimmy again. It could be anybody." But yeah, like you said, it kind of saw the skin reveal, but I was okay with it.
Oh sure,
I think it was like his ankles or something that you could kind of see like that
hmm
it was a brother, and yeah, he comes in, he's all maxed up like Jimmy used to do, and he reveals it, but it was still the crowd couldn't tell
no,
because they didn't know until he took the mask off, and they went ape shit.
yeah, yeah.
And R-Truth takes the title, knocks out John Cena, and then Cody Rhodes hits Crossroads, pins John Cena, and they win the match. So everybody that's been chanting, "We want truth," and I'm bullshit you not. If you go on Instagram, every single post WWE puts up, it is nothing but R-Truth in the comments. Every single one. his memes, his face. We want truth, everything. You can't ignore that kind of pushback. You just cannot.
Mhm.
So good on them for bringing him back. Even if they just brought him back for tonight, at least they did that to show the crowd like, hey, we hear y'all. Okay, we hear you. We hear you. Maybe they revisit the contract deal, whatever the case may be. Uh, and that's the other thing I like. They acknowledge what is actually happening in social media and in the news and everything else. They don't treat us like we're stupid, like we don't know. We know what's going on.
Mhm.
And it does tie up the bow that R-Truth was somebody looked up to John Cena and they just had a match at Saturday Night's Main Event 2 weeks ago. So it all makes sense. At the end of the day, I also gave this superb. I thought this was a great way to end the night. The last two matches were really top notch. Great storytelling. And then I guess we'll see what happens on Monday with Jay and Gunther.
Yeah, I couldn't go superb because I really didn't enjoy the match in the beginning, and I thought the post match is really what made the match as good as it was. There were some good match moments during the match, but I was actually like, I thought it was kind of slow moving, and the crowd was chanting. Well, they always do this to Cena, I guess, in all of his matches. The "You can't wrestle," and
Yes,
like you
you
said,
can.
yeah, yeah, and like you said, they had to kind of cover up some of the stuff with Cena, and then there was a moment in the match where they were working Jay over, and then Logan and Cena started to argue with each other, push each other back and forth, while Jay is just crawling his way over to get the hot tag to Cody. That just seemed that just to me that wouldn't happen. One of them should have said, "Oh shit, look, he's going to tag Cody." Instead, they're too busy. I couldn't buy that. I could not buy that. It. I just didn't enjoy what happened in the ring very much. I could not go superb. I'm going to go pay per view worthy. And for me, the best part about the match was the post match. It wasn't the match itself. It was R-Truth showing up, like you said. The outrage that's happened over his release has been some. Well, let me make something clear. I don't know if a lot of people know this. The truth about, no pun intended, about his contract situation is that he hasn't been released. He wasn't released. His contract, he was just informed that his contract is not going to be renewed. Now, I don't know when his contract expires, but he was not fired and let go. He was just informed, hey, when your contract is up, we're not going to renew it. That's all it was. Still
Hmm.
sad. It's basically they're still saying, hey, we're letting you go, but it's not like they fired him and then decided to bring him back. Maybe they're still talking about it. Um, it would be nice to see them keep him, but look, for tonight, it was a great moment. And like you said, it's good that WWE they're man, we live in different times. You talk about this. Social media is such a big thing now. And it's something in the wrestling business that you have to pay attention to. It's changed, man. When I was coming up, there was none of this stuff. But it's a different time and WWE is aware of that and they're taking advantage of it. And this was a night where I think it really worked in their favor. They heard this outrage about R-Truth and they said, well, you know what? Look, we don't know what we're going to do about the contract, but while you're still under contract, we're going to give the WWE universe this moment. I thought it was great. And what I thought was great about it is that we saw R-Truth do like some heel shit. Like he didn't come out like trying to talk to Cena, like, what are you doing? No, he came out pissed off, mad at Cena, hitting him with the belt. That's an
Yeah.
R-Truth we really haven't seen. So I'm
Not in a
hoping,
long time. He was a
right.
heel once upon a time.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. So I'm hoping that they're gonna maybe give us another go around with Truth and Cena, and maybe we're gonna see a more serious R-Truth. You know, he'll kind of get away from the jokes and the dancing just a little bit and give us a side of him maybe we haven't seen in a long time. I would love that. But the match tonight pay per view worthy, and like I said, the best part about it was the return of R-Truth. I was not crazy about what happened actually in the ring.
I understand that. Um, I guess I just like when they take their time with a match and it's meticulous and it tells a story that's not just quick and over with. And and then yeah, get a great surprise on top, cherry on top. R-Truth. I was gonna poll just you and Blake in the chat and say, do you think Roman's gonna come back? I felt like somebody's gonna come back with them putting this match last. I was like, something's got to happen. And I like that they didn't go like the basic route or the route of bringing in a big name. They went with a name that has been in the news. Smart,
Right.
smart. So for the first time in a long time, I can say Mr. Paul Levesque was in his bag tonight. So, overall, though, I think a good show. If I would have bought a ticket and I would have lived in Los Angeles, I would have said, "Hey, well, worth the I don't know about worth the price, worth going and enjoying myself because the prices are ridiculous." But yeah, good night. So Rob and I, neither one of us have seen Worlds Collide yet, so we may or may not. I guess we'll see what happens on Raw. Well, actually, I work Monday, so I won't be able to do a post show for Raw. But either way, we haven't watched Worlds Collide. Otherwise, we probably would have talked about that too. But
Yeah.
we'll get it watched. But hope you all enjoy Money in the Bank and our post show. Let us know in the comments down below what you thought about tonight. What do you think about R-Truth? I mean, who isn't glad to see R-Truth again?
Yeah. Yeah,
You
man.
know. And then let us know about how you think about Naomi winning the women's Money in the Bank and Becky Lynch being the women's Intercontinental Champion. I think it does elevate the title a bit. Needed somebody. I mean, Lyra had a long run. I mean, they
She
didn't do her
did.
dirty. That was a long run for with to be the inaugural champion as well. It's a long time. So, and there's no shame in losing to Becky in a one-on-one match. So. All right. Make sure you check out our list, Trying to Laugh Challenge. Probably get to another one later this week. And check out the game streams. Just finished up Red Dead Redemption 2. Now I'm gonna start Red Dead Redemption 1, which yes, I don't know why they call it 2. 2 is a prequel. 1 is the hey, whatever. And then I've been playing Doom as well. So those are two games I've been playing. Hit us up on Discord. I'll drop a link in the description for this video. Discord, get in the chat. Thank you all for who all interact. Joshua Cole, um,
What's up, Joshua Cole?
Cyberwolf,
All right, Cyberwolf.
Mystic Unigon, of course,
Mr. Unigon. Appreciate you
um,
all.
Brisk Clown,
Brisk Clown. Like that
yeah,
name.
Marvel fan,
All right, Marvel fan.
yeah. So, who's Britton Stegner? He just had a different name in
Oh, okay. All
that's
right.
Britton
Yeah, I
Stegner.
didn't
Yeah,
know
he
that.
has a different
I didn't
name in the
I didn't know that.
Discord.
All right.
Yeah, that's him.
Okay.
So, yeah, thank you all again. Take care. And then Ambassador, I'll let you send us out. Oh, 816. We're still at 816, trying to get to that 1,000.
All right. Well, hey, that's a good lead in. You know, y'all, we're still trying to grow the show. And thanks to you all, I mean, we're much more ahead than we were before we formed this little network with all of you. And you've gotten our numbers up. And so we're going to ask you to please keep doing that. Please keep spreading the word, letting people that you know about us. Um, we can't do it without you. I mean, and that's not just something we say, that's something we mean. And we also mean it when we say this. We love and appreciate each and every one of you. We really do. Couldn't do it without you. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Take care, y'all. We'll speak to y'all again soon. Peace.
Peace.